Welcome back into another crypto predictive programming show with the Spaceman 2.0. Here to help you grow in the knowledge and wisdom of truth, and the truth will set you free. So, I went over this in the Phoenix Truth Rising show I just put out today. And what do we have here? Houthi rebels attacking a Greek cargo ship. Okay, so what's particularly interesting about this Greek cargo ship, besides all the wonderful drone imagery, videography, seems to be professionally done. Now, what is the name of this ship? It's showing you the holes it has taking on water. I don't think that's the name. Eternity Sea. That's interesting. But you saw it there. It said Eternity Sea. So let's plug that in. Eternity Sea. Resurrection. Bullseye. Not going to say all of these. But what can it have here? Neuralink. You know, Neuralink is in the news these days. Moonshot. Motherboard and Neuralink. All-seeing eye. Master plan. Well, look, apparently they also sank the Magic Seas. Okay, they did this on the 6th of July. And then they do their little dance. Just looks all too corrugated, but Magic Seas. So let's type in Magic Seas. See what we get. Stella. You know, that could be for Stellar and Litecoin. The hidden hand. We know who controls the world. The hidden hand. Okay. Wake up. But having said Jake Paul's in the world today, in the news before. So up at the top here, you have with Magic Seas, you have Litecoin, bringing in crypto. But there's one we missed. It's kind of hard to see. We got Doge Moon. Swift. We all know who's taking over Swift. Who's trying to not take over Swift but work with it to make it much better. So with that question being said, who's working with Swift to make it much better? Who do we have here lying on this bed reading Tintin, Destination Moon, in Ted, the movie Ted, with Mark Wahlberg. Okay, 2012. This came out when they said the end of the world was happening. Let's just take a look. Okay, let's type in Tintin. Destination Moon. Now, why do I type this in is because it seems quite interesting. There is a rocket ship there, okay, going to the moon. But we all know what this has to do with when it comes to crypto. Again, this is not financial advice. So the Tintin Destination Moon. Let's see what comes up. What does that say right there? What do you want to moon finally in your life? If you've been in this space for a few years at least. A few meaning 3 to 5. Finally, XRP. What did I say? Who's going to be working with Swift to make Swift much faster and better, sending money from 3 to 5 business days into 3 to 5 seconds? And let me just decode one more interesting decode for you. Look, COVID, divide and conquer. We all know that's what they used it for back then. Divide and conquer us. To help illustrate that, at the end of the Houthis sinking magic seas, look what happens, okay? There's a better picture in Phoenix Truth Rising show when I showed that clip from the news. You see 3 circles, all right? Okay, I found it. So watch this. Watch this perspective, how they show you. Okay, it's with beautiful imagery with the drone. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Isn't that beautiful? 1, 2, 3. Not that fact the ship's gone down. I'm just saying, but this is how it looks, the ocean. 3 circles. Now take a look at this. Okay, what's coming up in the news today? How CERN turned lead into gold. A bunch of people are doing these little 1-minute clips showing it, how it's happening. So we're going to start off with lead going to gold. So what's the difference between lead and gold? Is what? Only 3 protons. So to change lead to gold, you have to actually minus 3 protons from lead, and it will be magically made into gold. Is this what the ancient alchemists were trying to do? Now, CERN Collider is able to do it, but it does it in such a minute way that it will take like $2.1 million to make an ounce of gold or something, which doesn't make sense at this point in the day. But the facts are 3 protons is the missing piece between lead and gold. So to turn lead to gold, you take away from lead 82 to 79 3 protons. So sorry for my chicken scratches here, but lead minus 3 protons equals gold. Now, this is not financial advice, but I find it very interesting. What are the 2 cryptos that have 3 circles as their representation? Again, forgive my imperfect drawings here, but look, Ripple's logo has this as their logo. Okay, besides the other one, which is basically like that and like that. Sorry. But Proton has what? These look like ovals, but that's really a circle, right? This is a 3-dimensional shape, so this is really a circle. Can that represent the 3 circles here? Can these guys actually be twin flames? Remember looking for your twin flame or your soulmate when you were a kid? Now, there's a bit of a difference spiritually between twin flame and soulmate, but we won't get into that right now. But remember that? Well, can this be the twin flames you've been looking for? Is this what we're going to use to change lead into gold? We all know lead is not too expensive compared to gold. And right now, XRP and XPR are quite inexpensive compared to gold. So with that being said, may you turn your soul into gold and know this about your DNA. You know, DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay? And between your DNA is actually a 10, 5, 6, 5 in the strands between the DNA, which corresponds with actually the name of God, Yod He Vohe. 10, 5, 6, 5 equals 26, which equals an 8, equals in eternity, infinity. So what does deoxyribonucleic acid mean? It means God, Lord Master, you are the fire burning in the center of my being. So if you want to change lead into gold in your soul, may you capture this as your proper understanding of your DNA.